February 3, 1959, became known worldwide as the day the music died. Three of the era's most gifted vocalists lost their lives in a devastating accident. One of them was only 17 years old, yet he had already created a global hit that more than 200 artists recorded. Still, he never had the chance to enjoy his worldwide success. Richard Stephen Valenzuela, better known by the stage name Ritchie Valens, was born on May 13, 1941 in Pacoima in the United States. His reputation grew from a blend of Latin and English language music, drawing on traditional Mexican rhythms, flamenco, and R&B, making him one of the earliest pioneers of rock and roll performed in both Spanish and English. Even as a small child, he displayed remarkable natural talent, composing his own songs at just 5 years old, encouraged by his father, who taught him guitar, trumpet, and drums. Although left-handed, he also learned to play right-handed, and by age 11, he had built his own electric guitar. Once he reached high school, he often skipped class to perform for classmates in the bleachers. Just a few years later, at only 16, he was already playing with a local group. His gift was impossible to ignore, and soon he was touring with his band until one morning in 1958, when opportunity finally arrived. He caught the attention of Bob Keane, who ran a small Hollywood record label and was struck by the teenager's ability. Valens was brought to Los Angeles, where Keane ran a modest recording studio. Within months, the young musician released his debut single, "Come On, Let's Go," through Gold Star Recording Studios, which became an instant hit.
Well, come on, let's go, let's go, let's go, little darling. I love you so.
Among his best-loved tracks was Donna, written for his girlfriend, who shared that name.
I had a girl, Donna was her name. Oh, Donna.
A teenager from Pacoima had just found his voice, his fame, and his first love, all before he could legally drive. But fame has a way of demanding more than a young man is prepared to give. Not long afterward, Keane came up with an unexpected idea. He thought the young guitarist should record his own version of the well-known song, La Bamba. Ritchie felt uneasy when label executives pushed him to record the traditional Mexican folk tune, but he went ahead anyway, with no idea the song would become his biggest springboard to stardom. After a series of recording sessions, and at Keane's suggestion, Richard shortened his name to Ritchie Valens to reach English-speaking audiences more easily. Ritchie was riding a wave of success, but he had no idea of the disaster that awaited him. At the height of his career in 1959, he had just wrapped up a successful show on the Winter Dance Party Tour, a package tour featuring major rock stars traveling across the American Midwest. Partway through the tour, the heater on the tour bus broke down, and that's when Buddy Holly, another headliner on the tour, made the fateful decision to charter a small plane that could carry 4 passengers. After the show, Ritchie, who was afraid of flying, had a gut feeling that he shouldn't board, so he asked his friend Tommy to take his seat instead. Unable to decide, Tommy flipped a coin. Fate determined that Valens would win the toss, pushing him to board the plane against his instincts, almost as if it had been arranged. The pilot chosen for the flight was 21-year-old Roger Peterson, who had been flying since he was 16. A coin flip. That's all it took to decide who would live and who would board that plane. Do you believe moments like this are fate, or merely brutal coincidence? On February 3, 1959, the aircraft took off without incident, but partway through the flight, a light snowfall began to settle on the unfortunate plane. By the time the danger was recognized, it was already too late. The aircraft picked up speed and crashed, with the tip of its right wing striking a frozen field first, sending the plane spinning until it broke apart. The tragic news spread instantly among friends, family, and fans alike. Holly's wife, Maria Elena, was so devastated upon hearing it that she lost her unborn child from the psychological shock. Everyone assumed this was simply a tragic accident caused by the bad weather. But the deeper the investigators looked, the more disturbing the truth became. What if the real failure had nothing to do with the snow? The tragedy cast a shadow over the entire entertainment world, but the story didn't end there. Later investigations into the crash revealed that 9 months before the flight, Peterson had failed an instrument flying exam, leaving him certified only to fly in clear conditions over short distances. Worse still, the testing equipment he had used during that exam differed from the instrumentation on the aircraft he ultimately flew, which was already an outdated model. Ritchie Valens never imagined how far his voice would travel. He never knew that La Bamba would echo across generations, or that a boy who once feared flying would be remembered forever as one of the men who helped music take flight. In the end, 17 years was all he had, and somehow, it was enough to leave a mark that decades still haven't erased. Some stories fade with time. Others refuse to. This one refuses. If you know someone who still hums La Bamba without knowing the tragedy behind it, share this with them. The music may have stopped that snowy night in 1959, but as long as we keep telling this story, it never truly dies.